moving on to the problems. So first problem we have done, another problem using the modulus. A steel wire of length 4.7 meter and cross-sectional area 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 meter square, stretches by the same amount as a copper wire of length 3.5 meter and cross-sectional area 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 meter square under a given load. What is the ratio of Young's modulus of steel to that of copper? It's a big question, but the problem is very simple. Okay, that is what it was. One question itself will take another 5 minutes to write. So, a steel wire of length 4.7 meter and cross-sectional area 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 meter square stretches by the same amount. So, from this you understood whether it's a copper or steel, they are stretched equal amount. As a copper wire of length 3.5 meter. So it was original length of copper wire and original length of steel wire is given to you, 4.7 and 3.5. And both of them have been stretched by the equal amount. How it has been stretched? Because under a given load. So you can just imagine, you can just think that the steel wire and copper wire, they are fixed to a particular stand. And other end of the steel wire and copper wire, we use 50 kg load. Steel wire also applied 50 kg and copper wire also we suspended as 50 kg. So that is the meaning of under a given load. So the applied force in both the wire is same. So that is what they have stretched by the same amount. So we have to find out the Young's modulus ratio between steel and the copper. So that is the question. So first we will write for the steel what is the Young's modulus and for the copper wire what is the Young's modulus. Okay. So since the length we have to use the equation y is equal to f L by A delta L. So you can write down Young's modulus y is equal to FL by A delta L. Thus for steel we can write, in order to differentiate between both Young's modulus, you can write it y steel. Underneath you can write y steel. Now, what are the values related to the steel? We have to substitute. Force is same for both. because they have been suspended with the same load. So why steel? So you can write F, original length of the steel is given 4.7 divided by area of the cross section also given. So it's a direct question. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 into del L. Similarly, for copper, we can write Y copper, substitute the value of the copper, length was into 3.5 divided by cross section area 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 into del L. Because it is not given, how much it is stretched is not given. So our question is find the ratio. So we can write it now, Y steel divided by Y copper. So if you apply that, the same things get cancelled. That is what when you take the ratio. Del L divided by F into 3.5 divided by 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 del L. So from this you understood F get cancelled, del L get cancelled. So now reciprocal. Therefore, Y steel divided by Y copper is equal to 4.7 into, take the reciprocal, you will get 4.7 into 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 divided by 3.5 into 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Minus 5. Both are same. So minus 5 get cancelled. And remaining thing you can use it. Both the powers are same. So that can be cancelled. And remaining one 4.7 into 4. Okay. So just check whether you are going to get the answer 1.79 because you can do it at home and see whether you are getting this answer. So approximately the ratio between both of them are 1.79. Okay. I hope you completed the steps. So that is one of the problem. So these are the one pattern of the problem. Have we completed today? Shall we go to the next one? Okay. Next question. The edge of aluminium cube, the edge of an aluminium cube, edge of an aluminium cube is 10 centimeter long. 10 centimeter long. One face of the cube is fixed to a vertical wall. And a mass of 100 kg. A mass of 100 kg is at attached to other face, or you can say opposite face. That's more easy because cube has 6 faces, a vertical wall and a mass. So attached to the opposite face. So which face is attached to the wall? Opposite to that, attached to the wall, mass of 100 kg. That means it is undergoing a stress over there. The shear modulus of aluminium, I am just writing chemical symbol, aluminium is 25 G Pascal, gigapascal. 25 G, I hope you remember, giga, mega, so that is what 25 GPa means gigapascal. That much strong it is. Okay, 25 gigapascal. What is the vertical deflection? What is the vertical deflection of the face? Just imagine a cube has been fixed. One face is fixed to the vertical wall, just like this. And there is another load of 100 kg is suspended here. So naturally what will happen? This opposite face have a little tilted to a new face. So that is why it is experiencing a shear modulus. There is no change in the length or anything. Only thing is that opposite face has been shifted from its original position because of 100 kg is suspended there. Okay, that's a condition over there. So what you have to find out? How much shifted? That means you have to find out the theta. Correct? Theta is the deflection, angle of deflection. So you have to tell me theta. Here we are not finding in degree, we are just finding in the magnitude. Okay? Can I change the slide, children? I hope all are there. So now what is the first step? We have given shear modulus, that is 25 gigapascal. That means giga stands for 10 to the power of 9. So 25 into 10 to the power of 9 Pascal. And what is the question? When a mass of 100 kg is attached, then aluminium cube, total length of the aluminium cube is 10 centimeter long. So naturally, what happened? There should be an effect. There should be an effect of the force over there. So mass is given to you. Therefore, the applied force is equal to mass into what is its length. Force, what is the unit of, how can you convert the mass into force? What you should do? If you want to change mass into force, what we should do? How can you find out the weight? Tell me, Punya. How do we find the weight of an object? What we do usually?
Equal to mg.
ImG. So similarly, we have to convert the mass into the applied force. So what we should do? We should multiply with G. Okay? So here we will take it as G as 10. So that it will be more easy for us to cancel it. Okay? Approximately we take it 9.8 as 10. So applied force, those who did not remember that equation, write down that. Force is equal to mass into gravity. So here, we instead of 9.8, approximately we take it as 10, so that it is easy for us. So you are getting force is equal to 1000 Newton. Now, So what is our equation usually? Shearing modulus. What was the equation we have learned? Shear modulus G is equal to, first we substitute that, shear modulus G is equal to F by, what was the equation? Do you remember? F by A theta. F by A theta. So now side of the cube is given to you. So if you want to find out the area of the cube, if you wanted to find out this, you have to find the area of the cube. Side of cube is 10 centimeter. That means 0.1 meter. Therefore, area of the cube. What's the equation to find out area of the cube? Area of the cube is side square. So 0.1 square. That is our area. 0.1 square. Now we can substitute in the equation. G is given to you. G is given to you. So before that, is for easy method means first to find out F by A. That will be more easy. So we can find out G is equal to F by A divided by theta. So let us now find out F by A. F by A already given 1000 Newton divided by 0.1 square. 0.1 square means 0.1 into 0.1, it is become 0.01. That is 10 to the power of minus 2. So we can write it 1000 by 10 to the power of minus 2, and finally take this 10 square up. Then you will get minus into positive. Minus into positive. So what is the stress we got it? 10 to the power of 5. Now it is easy for us. 25 into 10 to the power of 9 is equal to 10 to the power of 5 by theta. So let us now find out shearing strain theta. So theta is the shearing strain. So shearing strain theta is equal to 10 to the power of 5 divided by 25 into 10 to the power of 9. Again, for easy method, 10 to the power of 5 split into this way. Why we do that? Because 100 by 25 we know 4 times. Correct? So there's a lot of mathematical manipulation. So without shifting you can find out, there is no problem. But I am just splitting that into that. 100 into 10 to the power of 3. That is the same as 10 to the power of 5. Why? You can cancel the 25. 25 you will get 4. Then what is the next step? Take the 10 to the power of 9 to upstairs. So you will get 4 into 10 to the power of 3 into 10 to the power of minus 9. And what is the shearing strain? 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Still we did not get the answer. Vertical deflection means actually we have to find out how much it is displaced. Okay, so before displacing it will be, we can consider as vertical length as L. After displacing it we can tell it as del L. Okay. So next step, assume before applying force, vertical distance or vertical length, we can write it as L. After applying after applying force, L must have changed into del L. Therefore, we can write it shearing strain in this theta actually is equal to strain is the original change in dimension divided by original dimension. So we can write it theta is equal to del L by L. Now that already we got it 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Now length already given, that is one side is already given as 10 centimeter, that is 0.1. So we just substitute. So from this equation you will get del L is equal to L theta. L theta means 0.1 into 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. And you are getting final answer 4 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter. Because I consider 0.1 as 10 to the power of minus 1. So there's a lot of mathematical manipulation in this chapter of these powers. I hope you have understood. Okay. So anyone who did not understand, I explained the problem once again for you. Okay. So what we have done, nothing like that. We only have to understand the question. What are the things are given to you. Okay. So then, if you want to find out the vertical deflection, we have to get how much it is displaced. One phase. So for that, we have to find out the strain, and then you come to the equivalent proportion of delta L by L, and then come to the problem. Okay. Anyone would like me to explain again, children? You ask, because without understanding there is no need of I am taking problem. Anyone wanted me to repeat? So you understood now that power taking up and all that Mendel mathematical manipulation. How many are present now? Last period 21. Donna is there. Okay. There are so many absent now. Okay, children, can we continue? So one more problem we can do, and then we can stop it. Okay. So I know that you are fed up with the lot of questions like that. So one more problem, then I end the session. Clear? So next problem. So all these questions are very big problems. It takes a lot of time for us to understand and also to write. Clear? Okay. Next. A piece of copper having a rectangular cross section. Rectangular cross section of 15.2 millimeter into 19.1 millimeter is pulled in tension with 44,500 Newton force, producing only elastic deformation. Calculate the resulting strain. Calculate the resulting strain. So here now we only have to find out the strain, how much strain it is given. Okay, a piece of copper having a rectangular cross section is pulled in tension with the force, producing only elastic deformation. Calculate the resulting strain. Since deformation is taking place, deformation means only a little bit tilted. So, in this, what type of modulus is applicable? It is not mentioned lengthwise or volume wise. Nothing is given. But it is mentioned only deformation, elastic deformation. That means little bit tilted the shape. So, here also what we are mentioning is elastic modulus is G. Okay, that is rigidity modulus. That is what we are going to get. So, in this case, we consider since there is no angle, nothing is mentioned. So we can just simply say elastic modulus, nothing else. It's not mentioned whether it is a lengthwise or volume wise. So we can just substitute elastic modulus is equal to elastic modulus. You know, it's a common name is used for elastic modulus, that is K. Then only we come to Young's modulus, rigidity modulus, it is a shear modulus and the bulk modulus. So here stress we have to find out. Once stress you found out, you can find out the resulting strain. So it's not asked for rigidity modulus. Okay, so we can just come with only common equation. So we can write elastic modulus K is equal to stress by strain, or we are used sigma by epsilon, that one, stress by strain. Therefore, strain is equal to, resulting strain is equal to stress by modulus. Okay, can I change, children? So, force is given to you. Area, it's a rectangular cross section. It is already dimension is given. It is in millimeter. Then we need to convert that into meters. So, next step, find out the stress. The first stress is equal to force by area. Force is given 44,500. Area is given 15.2 millimeter. Milli stands for 10 to the power of minus 3 into, is the length and breadth, no? So 15.2 millimeter into 19.1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Thus, strain is equal to 44,000 by 15.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 19.1 into 10 to the power of minus 3, all divided by the modulus. Modulus is given as 42 into 10 to the power of 9. So it is already given in the question. I forgot to give you. It's already given. So modulus is 42 into 10 to the power of 9. So gradually this will come down. So you will get 44,500 divided by 42 into 10 to the. So we can keep it all the powers together. So 42 into 15.2 into 19.1 into 10 to the power of 9 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So these all are big numbers. You should learn how to solve it faster. Okay. Ten to the power of 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So you will get 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay. So you can find out strain is equal to 15.2 into 19.1 into 42 into 10 to the power of 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6. That is means 10 to the power of 3. So just do this part, then you will get the answer. Take the 10 to the power of 3 up. Okay? I hope you understood. Any doubt, children?
Ma'am, will you give the final answer?
Yeah. So final answer you will get 3.65. Check whether you are getting that answer. So you will get the answer 3.65 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So that is the answer. Take 10 to the power 3 up. Okay? Do you want one more problem or we end the session now? There's a 10 more minutes.